Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. We have another in-depth perfume review today, and we're going to be discussing Boy Smells Vanilla Era. So I recently picked this up at the Sephora Fall Savings event that just passed us by not too long ago. During that sale, I also picked up the 5 Cents Burn For You, which, by the way, if you did not see my review of commodity milk, I actually ended up returning the 5 Cents Burn For You. The clove was just a bit too much for me. And I ended up exchanging it for the commodity milk, which, by the way, I ended up buying the massive 3.4 ounce size because I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it in store. I just reviewed this the other day. If you missed it, I will put it in the cards up above in the description box down below. Feel free to go check that video out if you're interested, but suffice it to say, this is a new holy grail in my fragrance collection. I will not be without her. She's a beaut. Love this. If you're looking for a beautiful, sweet, delicious gourmand, trust me, just get it. So good. Anyway, in this video, we are discussing Boy Smells Vanilla Era. Now, this one I stuck to my rule that I'm supposed to have in place, where I am not purchasing full-size perfumes. I know, I broke the rules, but I own a lot of perfume, and I'm currently trying to stick to travel sizes for new fragrances, unless it's something that just completely steals my heart, right? In that case, yes, buy a full size, but not everything needs to steal my heart. But listen, this one here it's so lovely. I will probably end up purchasing the full size of this because I have now officially found a even better cruelty-free dupe to another one of my favorite fragrances, and I'm going to tell you how I got my hands on this here in a little while, but this is Maison Margiela by the Fireplace. This is so incredibly similar to By the Fireplace, but I think it's even better, and we'll talk about why in a second. By the way, I also have a inexpensive dupe of the Maison Margiela by the Fireplace from Dossier called Woody Chestnut, which I think is also a great option, so I'll put a link for this down below as well. I've been wearing that for quite some time and I really enjoy it. I think it is a wonderful dupe for By the Fireplace, but this, again, I think is even better. So I got my hands on this perfume does not belong to me. So Maison Margiela is not cruelty-free. Boy Smells is. So I grabbed this from one of my girlfriends who owns this fragrance. I asked her if I could borrow it for this video. She is a huge fan of By the Fireplace, and she didn't actually know that this wasn't cruelty-free, so I told her that it's all good. We have a replacement for when she's done with this bottle. But so this way I can definitely compare side by side these two fragrances and can kind of contrast and compare. All right, but before we get into the comparison, let's discuss this fragrance just in and of itself. Boy Smells is a newer company to me. I have heard about their candles, and I'm starting to hear a lot more about their perfumes, so I was definitely drawn to look into them a little bit more. In terms of price point, the travel size that I picked up was $30, and then the full size, which is, it looks like that is 2.2 ounces. This is a pretty big size. That retails for $98. So definitely a higher end price point, but not as high as Maison Margiela. Although I will say, I think this is 3.4 fluid ounces. Yeah, my old lady eyeballs are not going to allow me to focus on that, but I'm pretty sure this is 3.4 fluid ounces. So anyway, I guess maybe they're kind of on par price point with each other if you break it down by ounce. But anyway, so this is a warm and spicy fragrance. They consider this a unisex or genderless fragrance. It's created without parabens, without phthalates, and this is a vegan formulation. So the fragrance type here is Warm and Sweet Gourmands. The keynotes are Vanilla Absolute, White Tulip, and Black Amber. Let's go ahead and read a little bit more about their fragrance description here. Actually, we have a fragrance description and we have about the fragrance. So let's just read through both. The well-balanced scent is where innocence gets to go wild with notes of immaculate white tulip and rebellious black amber. The vanilla is anything but beige. About the fragrance. This is your vanilla era. Embrace it. A scent of innocence and subversion where vanilla is anything but beige. The correctness of Vanilla Absolute and White Tulips interlude with riotous black amber. Man, I'm loving this description. Elusive ISO E Super and spicy coffee bean absolute. Heads will turn, hearts will break as this scent reigns for days, months, and years. Anyway, that's quite the description of this actually quite amazing fragrance. All right, so let's kind of go through this fragrance. I am gonna give you guys the usual spritz so you can see that this has a really nice sprayer on it. You see that nice fine mist? So I kind of missed my, there we go. Man, she is good from the get-go. Oh, I love this one. This immediately comes out as a spicy, woody, hearth, sweet, marshmallowy type fragrance. I love this one. I don't even need to wait for it to dry down because for me, the way that this smells in the bottle is exactly how it translates onto my skin. Sometimes our body chemistry can definitely alter a fragrance, and I don't want to imply that this is going to smell exactly like it does in the bottle on you. That's going to depend on your body chemistry. But what I smell in the bottle is exactly what translates onto my skin with this one. And I love it when a fragrance does that. As my body starts to warm the fragrance up, it gets even warmer and cozier in its presentation. It feels almost like you're putting on just a warm cashmere blanket. This is amazing, you guys. So the first thing that I really smell when spraying this on is that more like woody hearth type note. But it's not a super aggressive, like overly harsh woody note. It's actually quite soft and pretty. The Vanilla Absolute in here is wonderful, you guys. And it is giving it almost like a marshmallowy goodness. It really does smell, it almost has a touch of the Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside. If you're familiar with that candle, it's giving me some of those exact marshmallow vibes from that fragrance in here. Oh, it's so good. I do get a really nice warm amber in here as well. The amber, again, gives it that warmth, that comforting, that cozy type vibe. I have to admit, the only thing that's really elusive to me in this fragrance is that floral white tulip note. I don't pick up anything remotely floral in this fragrance. Not in the bottle, not on my skin. It's just not there. That's not to say that that's going to be your experience, but I really don't get it. I do smell some of that like coffee in here. And it's coming across spicy, but I think it's also just because there's just some spice in this fragrance to begin with. I like that coffee. I never really thought that I would enjoy a coffee note in a personal fragrance, but it really, really works in here. It's so beautiful, you guys. In terms of the longevity and the projection of this bad boy, let me just tell you, she is long lasting. and she has projection. Like, you are going to want to be careful with the amounts that you apply with this particular fragrance. I think it's easy to overdo it. This is the type of fragrance that I would really only spray in one area. A lot of times I like to do my wrists, I like to do the inside of my elbows, I like to do behind my ears or across my chest. But this type of fragrance is one where I know I have to limit the amount that I spray, which is kind of good in that I feel like this is gonna last me a little bit longer. I don't have to use quite as much to get the impact, but also you do have to be careful with it. Projection, like it's there. You're gonna get it. In terms of longevity, I'm happy to report that this is a long-lasting fragrance, you guys. Now, I can apply this at around 7:30, 8 in the morning after I'm done getting ready for my day. I can still smell this on my skin like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Am I ready to like re-up it at that point? Yeah, but I also like my fragrance to be a little bit stronger, but I don't even think that you have to reapply. I think this is almost a one and done type of fragrance, unless you're someone who really likes to refresh your fragrances throughout the day, in which case I think the most that you'd have to do with this is like once in the afternoon, and I think you'd be good to go until the evening hours. She stays put on my skin. Now, I always advise applying your fragrances either over another perfume oil that has a complementary note, or Vaseline, or an unscented body lotion, or a body lotion maybe that is complementary to this. It's really going to help your fragrance go a lot further. The Namat Vanilla Musk I have paired with this, and that's a great combo. But again, you're going with another kind of sweet vanilla, so it kind of amps up the sweetness in this a little bit. If you don't want to amp up the sweetness at all, then maybe go with like a Vaseline or an unscented body lotion. But I can definitely recommend that Namat Vanilla Oil. I will link that down below. I will also, of course, link this. Now let's talk about how these two compare to each other. So I'm going to give myself a quick spritz here of the By the Fireplace. Don't get me wrong, I think this is an incredibly lovely fragrance. I have been lusting after it for a while, but Maison Margiela is not cruelty-free, so I would not purchase from this brand, which is why I've been doing the dupe from Dossier. But this to me is, they're very, very similar. I do feel that the Vanilla Era is sweeter, but if you really like By the Fireplace, I know you're gonna love Vanilla Era. This one has a touch more, and I'm talking about By the Fireplace right now. The By the Fireplace comes across as just a touch smokier than the hearth note in the Vanilla Era. But other than that, I feel like the two fragrances are incredibly similar. They have the same spice base. They have the same like vanilla marshmallow effect, but it's less sweet in By the Fireplace. I think that By the Fireplace maybe smells just a touch more masculine to my nose, whereas the Vanilla Era is leans a little bit more sweet, or I guess maybe feminine in its presentation. Honestly, I think on my skin, while I love this one, I think it is delightful, I think that I actually like the Vanilla Era better on my skin, but I also tend to lean more towards sweeter fragrances. So for me, going forward, I'm gonna be sticking with the Vanilla Era for sure. I really like having something that is just a little bit sweeter, just because that's a personal preference for me. But this one here is lovely. I'm glad that I started with the travel size, and I think this is gonna last me throughout the winter. And I think next holiday season, I would definitely consider purchasing this in the full size. I think I might be able to get through most of my woody chestnut during the holiday and winter season this year, so that would then definitely justify by me purchasing the full size of this. I just really am enjoying this. So if you're in the market for a new fragrance and you're looking for something that is similar to By the Fireplace, but maybe a touch sweeter, maybe a little bit softer in its presentation, I would definitely recommend checking out Vanilla Era. They do carry this brand at my local Sephora, so you might be able to smell it out at your local store, but I will of course be linking it in the description box down below. Let me know your favorite Boy Smells fragrance, if there's anything else that I should check out. Let me know your thoughts on Vanilla Era if you also own it in the comments down below. And yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Please give this video a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.